Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today we're setting sail into a truly timeless piece of literature. It's Robert Southey's classic narrative poem, The Inchcape Rock.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't just, any old poem. It's this captivating tale from the 14th century about a really dangerous rock off the coast of Scotland.
Yeah.
And it's a powerful, really enduring illustration of how actions, good or bad, they sort of inevitably boomerang back.
That's right. Robert Southey, he was quite an influential figure, born in Bristol, England, 1774, and eventually became Poet Laureate of England.
Right.
And the Inchcape Rock, it's just a brilliant example of a ballad, a narrative poem that tells a story, often with a kind of lyrical, almost musical quality.
Okay.
The poem itself, it's inspired by a legend, the story of a pirate who really, out of just sheer malice, removed this crucial warning bell, a bell that the benevolent Abbot of Aberbrothok had placed on the notorious Inchcape Rock.
Okay, so the abbot put it there for safety.
Exactly. This rock, it's a sandstone reef, sits about 11 miles off the east coast of Angus, Scotland, near Dundee and Fife. And actually, it's now home to the famous Bell Rock Lighthouse.
Oh, wow. Okay, so our mission today is to sort of pull apart the layers of this story, look at its profound message about, justice, I suppose.
Consequences.
Consequences, yeah. And find those surprising little nuggets of insight that make it still feel relevant. So let's dive in.
Let's do it.
So the poem kicks off with this scene of almost like unsettling tranquility, doesn't it? No stir in the air, no stir in the sea. The ship is as still as she could be.
Yeah, it's super calm.
Even the waves flow over the Inchcape Rock so gently they don't even move the warning bell. What does that initial almost eerie stillness, what does that suggest?
Well, it creates this really powerful contrast, actually. This deep calm, it really underscores the Abbot of Aberbrothok's foresight and his compassion. He understood the hidden danger, the peril of this reef, even when things look peaceful. That's why he took that step, quite extraordinary, really, to place that bell on the Inchcape Rock, fixed it to a buoy so that over the waves, it's warning rung.
So it was a system.
It was a system, yeah. A selfless act of just pure benevolence, a safety measure put in place amidst this tranquil but ultimately quite dangerous environment.
And it wasn't just like a theoretical warning. It literally saved lives, right? Yeah. When the rock was hidden by the surge's swell, the rising tide, mariners could actually hear that distinct warning bell.
Yeah.
It told them exactly where the perilous rock was, guided them clear. The poem says that they blessed the Abbot of Aberbrothok.
Yeah.
What did that constant warning rung really mean to those sailors, especially when they couldn't see the danger?
Oh, it meant everything. Security, gratitude. For sailors, the sea was always unpredictable, full of peril. The bell offered this reliable, consistent safeguard against a hidden killer, basically. The blessing isn't just a polite thank you. It's deep, heartfelt appreciation for someone who genuinely protected their lives, their livelihoods. The abbot was truly benevolent, big-hearted, acting purely to protect others, and that quality, it just makes the villain's actions later on seem even worse.
Okay, so here's where that calm just gets completely shattered. Enter the antagonist, Sir Ralph the Rover, a sea pirate.
Right.
And despite this glorious day, the sun in heaven was shining gay, everything joyful. The poem instantly tells us the rover's mirth was wickedness.
Oh.
That shift is so jarring.
It is, isn't it? It's that unsettling contrast, the outward beauty of the day versus the internal sort of ugliness of Sir Ralph's spirit. Yeah. He felt the cheering power of spring. It made him whistle and sing, but his joy wasn't, innocent. His eye locks onto that darker speck, the Inchcape bell. And his mirth, this excessive, twisted joy, it leads him straight to a malicious act. He tells his men, "Put out the boat and row me to the Inchcape Rock, and I'll plague the Abbot of Aberbrothok."
Plague the abbot.
It wasn't just vandalism, it was pure spite, an attempt to undo good.
And he carries it out with this, chilling precision. He bent over from the boat, and he cut the bell from the Inchcape float. That vital warning system just gone.
Snip gone.
It syncs with that really specific gurgling sound, bubbles rising and bursting. And his remark then is just so cold. The next who comes to the rock won't bless the Abbot of Aberbrothok.
Oh.
What does that tell us about his malice? Is it hatred? Jealousy? What is it?
I think it's a profound kind of envy and just petty malice. It suggests this deep-seated resentment of the abbot's goodness, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Sir Ralph just couldn't stand the idea of others benefiting from kindness or blessing someone else for their safety. He wanted to ensure future sailors would suffer and that the abbot's good deed would be, well, forgotten or maybe even blamed. It's just pure, unadulterated self-interest and spite. Comes from a heart that finds joy in someone else's potential suffering. It's dark stuff.
It really is. Okay, so Sir Ralph sails off, wicked deed done. He's scoured the seas for many a day, travels around, gets rich, growing rich with plundered store.
Built his fortune.
Then he steers his course back towards Scotland's shore, probably thinking, time to enjoy the spoils. He thinks he's gotten away with it.
That's the setup, isn't it? The classic hubris. But as he gets closer, the whole atmosphere changes. Dramatically.
Oh, so?
A thick haze or spreads the sky, completely blocks the sun, can't see land, and the wind that was carrying them just dies, gone, leaving them to just drift along. The stage is perfectly set for disaster. It's this slow buildup of environmental menace, perfectly matching that creeping dread.
And you can really feel that dread building in the poem. One of his men senses danger, asks if they can hear the breakers roar, knows they must be near the shore.
Yeah, the crew's getting nervous.
But Sir Ralph, he's lost in the fog, disoriented. He says, "Now where we are, I cannot tell, but I wish I could hear the Inchcape bell."
The irony.
It's incredible, isn't it?
It's the ultimate moment of, oh no, what have I done? He's wishing for the very thing he destroyed out of spite.
Yeah.
They hear nothing, but the swell is strong. Even with no wind, they keep drifting, till the vessel strikes with a shivering shock. Oh Christ, it is the Inchcape Rock.
Yeah.
Sir Ralph's despair is just immediate, total. He tore his hair, cursed himself. The ship sinks fast. His own selfish act literally comes back to sink him. Poetic justice defined.
And that chilling end, it really hammers the message home.
Yeah.
And his dying fear, Sir Ralph hears one last dreadful sound. It's as if with the Inchcape bell, the devil below was ringing his knell.
Ooh, yeah.
Haunting.
It's like his own actions are literally delivering his final doom with the supernatural twist. Yeah. And what's so powerful here is how Southey connects this specific story to these big universal themes. The explicit message, you can't miss it, is that those who do wrong things will meet with due punishment.
Right.
He doesn't just state, what goes around comes around. He crafts this narrative, immerses you in Sir Ralph's arrogance, his hubris, and then delivers this twist of justice that feels so precise, so inevitable. It makes the saying much more, visceral than just hearing the proverb.
Yeah, absolutely.
It echoes all that timeless wisdom, like, as you sow, so shall you reap, or crime gets its own punishment, all those ideas.
And you definitely see that idea of pride goes before a fall, just woven all through Sir Ralph's story. His initial wicked mirth, that arrogant act of cutting the bell, it leads directly to his end.
Completely.
His pride in his own destruction blinded him to the consequences. Makes him a classic tragic figure in a way.
Definitely. And if you look at the bigger picture, the poem's mood perfectly mirrors that journey. It starts with that deep calm, remember? Without either sign or sound of their shock, the waves flowed over the Inchcape Rock.
So peaceful.
And ends with stark violence, till the vessel strikes with a shivering shock. That shift from calm to chaos powerfully reflects how Sir Ralph's one action just completely upended everything, leading to his own doom. It's very deliberate literary work.
Okay, so since the Inchcape Rock is specifically a ballad, let's maybe unpack that a bit. What does that form mean for how we understand the story, why it's so memorable?
Good point. A ballad, basically, it's a song that tells a story. Simple as that sometimes.
Okay.
It can be dramatic, funny, romantic. Traditionally, they were folkloric verse narratives, often linked with communal dancing way back when.
Right.
They often use a sort of elliptical, stylized way of telling the story. Lots of repetition usually, which gives it that musical quality.
Any other famous examples come to mind?
Oh, absolutely. Think of Samuel Taylor Coleridge's The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. That's probably the most famous literary ballad in English.
Ah, okay. And structurally, what does a ballad usually look like?
Typically, yeah, it's made up of stanzas, usually with a quatrain that's 4 poetic lines.
4 lines, got it.
And sometimes, just like a song, they might have a refrain, like a repeated chorus. That definitely adds to the musical feel and makes them easy to remember, easy to recite. Helps lodge the story in your head.
And the language itself in this poem, it's just so vivid, isn't it? Southey uses some really effective figures of speech that make it stick.
Oh, absolutely. He's a master craftsman with the language. For instance, you've got alliteration, like in Sir Ralph the Rover tore his hair.
Right, the R sound.
Exactly. That repeated R isn't just decorative. It actually creates this harsh, grating sound, kind of mirrors his inner torment, maybe even the violence of cutting the bell earlier.
Interesting.
Then there's repetition, which really drives a point home. Like in the beginning, no stir in the air, no stir in the sea, emphasizes that profound initial calm.
Okay.
The gurgling sound of the sinking bell that's perfect, onomatopoeia. The word sounds like the thing it describes.
Yeah.
There's a simile when he says the ship was as still as she could be, comparing its stillness. Personification, too, like when the devil below was ringing his knell, giving a human action to, well, the devil representing doom.
Gives you chills.
It does. Inversion is used for poetic effect, swapping word order, like on a buoy in the storm, it floated and swung. And finally, that moment of terror, Sir Ralph's, oh, Christ. That's apostrophe. A direct address to someone absent, a desperate cry.
Wow. Okay, so lots of techniques packed in there.
Definitely adds layers to the storytelling.
So the poem brilliantly uses the sea as its backdrop. And while it's definitely a tale about human nature, good versus evil, it also makes you think about our whole relationship with the ocean, doesn't it? Our constant efforts to navigate its dangers.
That's a great connection.
From the abbot's simple bell to, modern GPS and lighthouses, how have we evolved in trying to stay safe at sea?
It's a fascinating thread, isn't it? The poem, through that simple bell, it highlights this timeless need for navigation, for safety at sea, just like the Inchcape Rock became this symbol of peril. Other unique rock formations around the world, like, say, India's incredible balancing rock in Mahabalipuram, they capture our imagination, too. They often become part of local stories, showing nature's power, its wonders, sometimes its challenges.
Right.
And the poem itself, it uses very specific seafaring terms that grounds the sort of legendary tale in the reality of the sea. Terms like keel.
The bottom of the ship.
Exactly, lowest part. And buoy, that floating marker for danger. And vessel, just another word for a ship. It adds authenticity.
That really makes you think about the huge range of people whose lives are tied to the sea, doesn't it? From the ones ensuring safe passage, like the abbot tried to do,
right,
to those exploring the depths or managing trade or even defending coastlines.
Precisely. This story, even though it's old, it really does highlight this enduring human effort to make the sea safer. From early warnings like the abbot's bell to all the complex roles and tech we have today in maritime industries.
Yeah.
It really makes you appreciate the vast opportunities that exist in fields related to the ocean, whether it's defense, research, commerce, anything. The sea always demands respect, constant vigilance, and it inspires countless careers focused on understanding it, navigating it, protecting it. You see opportunities in naval forces, ocean engineering, marine science.
Cargo management, even archaeology.
Exactly. Marine archaeology, communications. It's a huge field. And, requires specific skills, physical, mental training, teamwork.
Right. And it's not just traditional roles anymore, is it? There are opportunities across various qualifications.
Not at all. You see routes through science degrees, commerce, engineering, even MBAs focused on logistics and shipping management. There are specialized institutes, too, like the National Institute of Oceanography in India, for example. It's a dynamic area.
What an incredible deep dive we've had today. Seriously fascinating. We've gone from that calm goodness of the Abbot of Aberbrothok, placing that life-saving bell, to the sheer calculated wickedness of Sir Ralph the Rover cutting it down.
Yeah, the contrast.
And then finally to his inevitable, really chilling end when his own malicious act completely seals his fate.
The central message just couldn't be clearer, could it? The consequences of our actions, good or ill, they will inevitably circle back to us. It's such a powerful reminder. What we sow, we will indeed reap. No escaping it, really.
So as you, our listeners, reflect on this tale of the Inchcape Rock, maybe consider this thought. How often do systems of safety and guidance, things often meticulously created with good intentions like the Abbot's bell, how fragile can they actually be?
That's a great point.
And what responsibility do we bear when maybe our own seemingly small acts of malice or selfishness or just plain short-sightedness, when they disrupt the very structures that are meant to protect not just others, but ultimately ourselves too?
Something to ponder.
Definitely something to think about. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks, everyone.
Until next time, keep exploring the rich stories and insights the world has to offer.